Hey guys, welcome to another What the Flix. So today I'm going to be talking about Hitman, Agent 47. So the basic premise of this movie is that Hitman, Agent 47, is a guy who has to kill a lot of people and survive to the end of the movie. So the movie begins with Agent 47 being tasked to kill two people, a father and his daughter. This daughter, her name is Katia, has a superpower, and her superpower is mega anxiety and paranoia. The thing is that there's somebody else in the competition to pick her up, and that's New Spock. So New Spock scoops her up, and he's like, "Hey, did you know your dad's alive?" And she's like, "I had no idea I had a dad." So using her super paranoia powers, she totally figures out exactly where her dad would be located on the information that he has a hard time breathing and he's old. Just as she figures this out, Hitman busts into the apartment and shoots New Spock and scoops the Katia chick for himself, meaning she has been kidnapped twice in the same 20 minutes. So Agent 47's handler, the person who kind of pulls the strings behind the scenes, is known as Diana. And this lady has always been known as Diana throughout all of the video games and all the movies and everything. But in this movie, she's an untrustworthy bitch. So Agent 47's mission is to kill this daughter, but he doesn't immediately kill her. So then Diana sends a hit out on him immediately. Oh, and Diana isn't British anymore. She's Asian. Even though in the games, Agent 47 and Diana are pretty tight. Diana's pulling favors for him if he doesn't do things 100%, and 47's covering up stuff for Diana. They're really tight. In this movie, that is disregarded, that is thrown to the wayside. So in this movie, Diana's a bitch, and 47's on a hit list from her because she hates him enough to kill him. So Hitman 47, for whatever reason, knows that this Katia girl is actually an agent herself. She's Agent 90. Her name is Katia, but it actually is short for a French series of words that means the number 90. It's Quatorze, Vingt, Poutre or something. There's no way she could have known that. We don't really even know why 47 knows. He just knows this. So they figure out that the dad is in Singapore and they got to get there, so they have to go on a plane, and when they get off in Singapore, New Spock is there with a whole bunch of men, and Katia and Agent 47 got to fight through them, and it's a training kind of montage. It's a training day for Agent 90 because she is super much better than 47, but she's untrained and inexperienced. So he's like, "Don't get caught by those cameras," and it's kind of like a tutorial mission almost from the games, where it's that's a security camera. You don't want to get caught by that. That's a guard. Take them out silently. Even though in the game you ended up getting shot tons of times and pumping 30 doses of horse tranquilizers to not fall over and stuff like that. In the movie, it's just oh, you got caught. Shh, they didn't catch us. Where in the games you'd be riddled with bullets and you'd be like, "Shh, oh, horse tranquilizers. Ah, yeah." Oh, by the way, New Spock has bulletproof skin. Yeah. So after all this fighting and bulletproof skins and seeing through walls with your brain and stuff, all this superpower stuff, they get to the father, Litvenko, which is also 47's target, and Litvenko's like, "You two are brother and sister." Kind of like Splinter in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he's like, "I didn't leave you alone, Katia, 90, I didn't leave you alone because 47 is your brother." And it's kind of like a super cock block because at this point we figure that 47 and her are going to have a thing because they kind of make it seem like it's a thing. There's a bit of tension there, and I was like, weird. So on the down low, 47 pushes by the father guy and slips him an inhaler, swaps his inhaler for an explosive inhaler that will explode when you try to squeeze it, when you compress it to get the stuff. Yeah, it's gonna blow up. No one knows this. Not the father, not Litvenko the father. He doesn't know that this inhaler is gonna blow up. So you just figure that he could have been like, "Wow, that meeting with 47 was so tense," and puffs a second after 47 is like 5 feet away and then blows them all up. But somehow he doesn't for an extended period of time, like another half an hour of the movie. He does not use his inhaler once, even though it's around him pretty much the whole time. So you thought that new Spock was the big bad? You would be wrong. He's just a henchman. He's like an enforcer, new Spock. So the real big bird is a guy named Leclerc, which I think in French means the clerk, which is kind of funny. So they kidnap Litvanko, and they're like, Litvanko, you got to make more Agent 47s. And he's like, no, I cannot do this. And the clerk guy's like, you've got to do this, old man, or I'll kill you even though you're dying already. So 47 and 90 go through the building. They like crash into the building with a helicopter to save Litvanko, even though Litvanko's dying. And the chances are very good that Litvanko will not give up his secrets before he like dies, especially under all this stress. Anyways, they go through the building for like our finale action scene, and they fight through tons of bad guys, and they're running up the stairs. Because of course the bad guy seems to be pretty much on the top floor. Eventually, 47 and new Spock like face to face, like kick the crap at each other in like a very, very short, very compressed action scene where 47 electrocutes new Spock, and that kills him. I mean, he has bulletproof skin, but I guess they didn't enhance like his ability to take electricity or whatever. So anyways, new Spock gets electrocuted after like a minute of just kind of punching around and stuff, and it's really disappointing actually. So this entire time with 90, where Katie and 47 are running up the building, killing on the henchmen, Leclerc is taking Litvanko, the father, and they get to a copter and they fly away on a chopper. And at the very last second, Litvanko's like, oh, I know this inhaler is an explosive, even though it looks identical to the one I have, and no one ever told me that it's an explosive. So he gets the out of it, and then the chopper blows up, killing him, killing the bad guy. And in movie logic, it makes sure that Leclerc and the organization that he works with and all those people will never come after Katie again. Even though that makes absolutely no sense, because if they kidnap Katie, then they could do like experiments on her and stuff and figure out how they made her. Litvanko would have been easier, but I mean, she's still very valuable. So they'll still come after her. This is just like a temporary slowdown of the pursuit. So at the very end of the movie, Diana had called in a hit on 47, and who she called was Agent 48. And for whatever reason, Agent 48 looks exactly like Agent 47 and is the same actor, portrayed by the same actor. He's the same guy. They're on the roof of the big bad's place. So 47 and 90 are like, let's go get a drink. This has been a long day pretty much. And then 48 shows up out of the elevator and is like, Diana says hello. And then pulls out his guns, and then everyone pulls their guns, and then credits. So yeah, the movie just kind of is like, no more action. We're out of budget. Finished movie. And I'm not sure, I guess they were trying to do the whole 47 turns away from the agency and Diana, all that stuff, turns away from all those people arc and goes kind of rogue, which at the end of the movie it's insinuating he's gone rogue. So they're setting it up for a sequel, obviously. Whether we'll actually get that sequel or not, who knows? Oh, and at the mid credits, there's a little stinger that shows new Spock get like his eyes popping open, even though he got like electrocuted through the brain, and now he has white hair, because hair turns white when you electrocute it, I guess. Every follicle, every strand, and he's like really ghastly looking. He looks like a ghost. So it's Ghost New Spock, which is, whatever, right? I mean, they gotta. I don't know, other than revenge, I don't think New Spock has any reason to do anything in another movie, because his boss is dead, so he's not getting paid. I guess he'd move over to like another bad guy agency or something like that. Bad Guys Are Us. Imagine New Spock walking around with a resume. He's like, yes, I'd like to get a job as a henchman, please. Boop. So, what did we learn from this movie? Paranoia is a superpower. Diana is an unmitigated bitch. New Spock is unkillable. And turns into a ghost man. Using an inhaler can be deadly. So I guess 47's a clone now, or he was cloned, or he is cloned. Cloning is now a big part of the story now, I guess. And I'm pretty sure that whole cloning thing never happened, but I guess it's happening now. I'd rate this movie a 6 out of 10. If you're looking for an action movie to watch with like the guys or something, this 47 movie is quite a lot better than the other Agent 47 movie. The American 47 movie was not very good. This one, at least, it has fairly tight writing, fairly concise plot lines. The action is pretty good. It's all in all probably just a better movie in almost every respect. So it's on Netflix. Check it out. You'll want some chips and popcorn and probably a friend or two to mock it with, like I did. It's good coffee. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe. And I am out.